Fractal Sequencer. All right, so QuBit recently sent me this to check out. The Bloom Sequencer. It's a fractal sequencer, trunk of a tree, weird branches and paths, kind of heady way of thinking of sequencing. And I took it on a trip with me recently to Seattle as well as Chicago to kind of dive deep into it and learn it. And I realized it's not that deep. It can be, but it's very immediate. And in a small system like this, it's super powerful. So I kind of wanted to just run through some of its features, check it out with you, and yeah, let's just jump into it. All right, so originally I wanted to start from scratch and kind of go from it, but I ended up making this really cool sequence that I like, and I figured I'll just kind of break it down as to how I got to this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and press play on the circuit. Turn this kick up. So right now we're playing two branches. You can see it's cycling from blue to purple. And for, I guess, ease of use in this video, I'm just gonna stick to one channel. You have two channels, so essentially everything I'm doing can apply to 2 times 2. So let's go to branches, none. And here we're just listening to a 4-step sequence that I've manually entered. If I hold down shift, I can change the length, right? 8 steps. You can go up to 32, right? I haven't entered in anything there. So we'll just stick to, 4 because it's easier. Let's reset that. Cool, so you can see some are dim, some are bright. Basically what this is doing is allowing me to enter in gates. Now I only have a single gate on the very first step. Another one there, turn this. Ooh, that's kind of tight. So all I'm doing is, where do I want to go with this? The Bloom to me has hit such a nice middle ground. I always kind of focus in on this like triangle, not trying to be all Illuminati right now, but you have like ease of use, the amount of functions, and then the immediacy of a module. And this kind of hits this perfect middle ground between those 3 things, right? And size is another factor as well, because you can have the size of something is massive with a lot of functions, but it might not be that easy to use. Or something's really easy to use and huge, but it doesn't have that many functions. Or something's huge, which a lot of functions, but it's not that easy to use. This kind of hits this perfect middle ground of it's not that big, it's insanely immediate, and there's a ton of functions in there. Like I can just stay on this 4-step sequence and have a ton of fun. For example, right? Maybe I like this. Cool. Let me add some more gates. Maybe we'll change the order. Right? Or random. Let's make a new branch. Maybe change the order back to forward. Maybe change the path. Ooh. And this is just 4 steps. You have 32 that you can go through, which is pretty gnarly. So I love sticking to 4 because it kind of has that really like repetitive vibe that I like when it comes to a lot of these things. And the Bloom is really cool when it comes to making these type of sequences because you have things like branches, paths, and then the roots. And then the mutations can also be really fun, but I don't use them that much just because I like to manually enter in things. So let's make the first note a little lower, right? And let's see, where's that last high note? Okay, cool. I like that. So now that that's there, we can add a branch to the trunk of our tree. So it's going from trunk to the first branch, right? And then you can even change which branch it is. So you can say this path was going from trunk to left branch, and then the path now is going from trunk to right branch. But then this branch can have more branches. So if we turn this up even more, now it's like in this weird 12-step kind of sequence if I add a 4th one. But now I have all these different paths that have been added because when I only have a single branch added, I have either one path, left or right. If If I add 3, I have left, sort of right, and right, because you're adding so many different variations, all based off of the initial sequence that you entered. Right? And then of course you have your root. Just an easy way to kind of help yourself kind of tune some stuff up. Boom, one turn of a knob and this thing just starts singing. So now let's try and mutate this, right? So I'm gonna say turn it up a little bit. And mutate will change the pitches, but it won't change the gates. So if I turn this all the way up, it's going to basically be 100% chance that every step will be randomized. And then if I crank it all the way back down, it'll keep it at that. So let's kind of... turn this up a little. Or if I set this to 8 steps. There we go. Now we can add a branch to this, right? You hear that little popping? That's because I have a per step slew edited value. If I hit shift and notes and this starts flashing, it shows you pages that you're currently editing of the 8 steps each. So this is the first step here. This allows me to add longer gates or shorter gates, individual slew per step, and a bunch of other things like that. So like if I... So I'm just pressing down and turning to turn these gates really, really low. So then maybe that first step, I want it to be, let's say, oh, I'm in the ping, my bad. Ooh. Yo, how good does this thing sound? Without it. Boring. So then if we go to slew amount, I can say on this first step, or the higher notes, let's see where the higher notes at. This one here. So now I've edited and made this on a per step basis. I can exit out of this, and now I can then add a branch to this. Whoa, sorry. This thing is so dope. Oh, don't like that path. Let's add another branch. Dude, so dope. I mean, essentially, that's kind of what Bloom is in a nutshell. It does more than that because you, of course, have your divisions, you have a second channel, it can be externally clocked. All these things can take CV as well, along with the root note. Like one thing I love doing is just sending output 4 of the mimetic into the root, and then you can just kind of... and I'm just sending a new value to the root. You can do that for patches or the paths. You can also do that for the branches, and you can also CV the amount of mutation, which is really cool to forever keep changing. You also got a bunch of scales in here. There's chromatic, major, minor, a bunch of others, and then unquantized. Let's stick to minor. Actually, you know what? Major was kind of fun. A bunch of patterns. For example, if I like this, I'll turn the patterns. I want to save it here, press and hold. Boom, done, it's there. And I can go back and actually recall some other patterns I've made. All right, let's start cranking this up and having some fun. So, I mean, I really just wanted to show how quick and simple and easy this thing is, because it's very immediate to use. Because, like, for example, this, I wanted to change this up. Maybe do some weirder patterns. Maybe I want to add some slew. You can also add a global slew. Oh, another thing that's super tight is the ratchets. So if I turn up the ratchets, and I'll set this to 4 steps. Right? So every step hits twice, and you can set this up to 4. There's nothing here, but let's turn that one on. Right? And then I can divide this. Yep. Maybe divide that up. Or we want it a little faster. 2, divide by that. Right, ratchets back to nothing. We'll set the steps. Dope. Oh, I love this thing. Let's have some fun. I'm going to patch this over to... I'm not even going through a filter. I'm just using this little sync Placina. It's got this really nice resonant. All right, let's add a branch. Dope. Change path. Let's go back to the other one. So sick. Let's take some gates out. Oh man, that is so sick right there too. Let's say another branch. Actually, let's just add all the branches, and this will just keep changing. But let's set the length to just 2 steps. Let's add less branches. This is another way to kind of find some other weird new rhythms within your rhythms, right? Yeah. So then let's say another branch. Oh, that is so dope. So the branches change up the gates, the mutations change up the rhythms. Do 1 step. Actually, let's make this really fast. blue. Yep. Man, this thing is so tight. Get out of that. Maybe I like this pattern. Let's save it onto 2. Done. Let's go back to 4. Oh man, where did I save that last one? Was it on 8? Yeah, I mean the bloom is dope. For sequencing this, take a bunch of samples of this and you're set. Let's do something weird. Let's take out 2 and send it to the shape. Right, so that's just opening that up. Here, I want to mute this. So if we go to channel 2, you can see this is way slower. Let me change this to root. Let's change its division. Maybe a little slower. What's even more drastic than that? Oh, the wave. So which... This is the nasty one. Right? And then I can actually control how much that is. And then if you press and hold this, you actually have control over the global, and you can see both sequences running at once, and this will allow me to kind of... Yeah, man, that's really it. For jamming, I in my last modular live jam with Alex and Mitch in this video here, I patched this up at the end, and it was so much fun, man. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to talk about the bloom and how awesome it is. So yeah, anyway, I'll catch y'all next week, hopefully. Thanks for sticking around. If you want to support the channel, check out this website, get some merch, and yeah, until next week, share the love, share the knowledge. Knowledge is power.